In this video, we'll take a look at the modify area here on the cam tab. So first of all, we have this edit button here. So this can be used to change cut sequence on a part. So if we click on a part, bring up this dialog box here, and it'll list the various cuts that are in the part. And as you click on these, it'll highlight in magenta the cut that you're looking at. So you can use this to reorder your cut sequence. If you want to move something up or down in the cut sequence, you can use these arrows here. If you want to move something all the way to the top or the bottom, you've got the quick buttons there. You can also delete a cut, so if you decide you don't actually want to cut that, you can just hit on the minus key and delete it. And then over here on the right gives information on the particular cut that's highlighted right now. We'll zoom in a bit on this one here. So it shows us information about length of lead in, lead outs. So if you decide you want to change any of those numbers, you can come in here and adjust those numbers. If we want to change our angle of lead in and such, you can do all that there. So it's sometimes a little bit easier area to do it than having to go back and reapply the lead in. Also down here shows the current piercing type that's being used on that lead. So if you decide you want to use a different piercing type, you can change that here. And then you've got your how the cut sequence is sorted on that part. So if you wanted to change that, then you could come in here and change it, and then click on sort again to apply the new sequence. This 0 point here is just the 0 point when iGEMS is looking at the part. It doesn't apply to where the 0 point is going to be on the machine or anything. So that's the edit toolpath button. And let's see, the other feature in here that can be helpful is this rapid button. So if you're going to be rapiding from one cut to another, and maybe there's a clamp or something that you know is in the way, you can click on this rapid button, and you can just use this rubber band and stretch it to indicate where you want the head to actually traverse. So we can click a couple times, and when you've got it how you want it, just hit enter, and it'll bring you back into that box there and adds that into our cut sequence there. And the other button that you have in here is this stop button. So if you want the machine to stop before doing a cut, maybe you want to check the part for whatever reason, you can just highlight the cut that you want the stop to occur before, and then click on the stop button. You can type in a message to the operator. If this conditional box is checked, it'll put M01 into the code, and the optional stop will then be recognized if at the controller the operator has this use optional stop button turned on. If this button is not turned on, then it'll ignore the M01, the conditional stop. So if you do want to absolutely make sure that the machine stops, then don't check that box. It'll put in a M00, and we'll say OK to that, and we'll just create the code on this so you can see what it looks like. So we'll select this and just look at it here quickly. As we scroll down towards the bottom here, we see we've got that M00 with the note in there. And then if you decide later that you want to remove that stop, you can just highlight the cut that has the stop on there, click on the stop button again, which clears it, and then that gets rid of that. So that's the edit button. The delete button here is for deleting cuts from a sequence. So if you just quickly want to delete a cut from the sequence, you can just click on the delete button and then click on the objects that you want to remove, and then that'll be removed. And if we go down deeper into the modify button here, micro joints can be used if you've got a small part and you want to keep it from falling into the tank. So we can click on this and can define different lead-in types for the micro joints. So similar to the other leads area, define length of lead-ins and angles and things like that. So all that can be defined there. And click on insert, and then you can just click where you want to put that micro joints. So and you can put as many on here as you want, so you can put them all over the part if you want to. So that's quite helpful with small parts. And then we've got the chain command. So if you want to use one pierce and cut out multiple pieces, can reduce number of pierces that you need to do. So if we want to use one pierce and cut to cut these two pieces here, we'll go to the chain command. You can specify what sort of cut quality that you want to use on the cuts between the parts, which you can do either rough or extra rough typically, since you don't care so much what that quality looks like. And now it's prompting me to select parts, so you just click on the parts that you want to connect with the chain. So you can we'll click on this one, and when we're done, just hit enter. And enter again. Now it says specify points, so essentially wants to know, right now it's a little bit deceptive because it's got this red line going from the outside of this cut to the inside of that cut. That's not actually what it's going to do. It's going to try to go from the end of this cut to the start of this next cut over here. So essentially wants to know when it's done over here doing the lead out, where do you want it to go. So you might want it to move a little bit away from the part, so you can click up there, and then can do more if you want to, otherwise hit enter. And then when you exit out of the command, it'll draw that connection line between the two pieces, so the jet will stay on and come over to here and then lead in. So obviously if you're going to do that, you want to optimize your placement of your leads. So we'll just use our delete command on these two, get rid of those leads, and we'll just put in new leads now. So we'll put one here. If I select my snaps, we can put one here, we can put one here, and then we'll just hit close. We'll go back to modify and back to chain, and we'll just stick with extra rough this time. So we'll click on this part, and then hit enter a couple times, and then specify point, which this one here, we're just going from the end of the cut here over to this cut here. We can just hit enter. So and this will be the lead in, and then this red line is the lead out, which is then connecting with what was the other lead in before. So that's the chain command. Disconnect would be similar to in our other video where we were adding the leads and we had the toolpath disconnected from the part. If you want to disconnect a toolpath from a part, can come in modify, disconnect, and we'll disconnect this one here. So now if we want to, we can just copy the toolpath from the part. So sometimes if you need to make modifications, that can be helpful. So that's the modify menu. If you have any questions on that, let us know. Thanks.